my friend, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm really glad you're here today. Wherever you're listening from, maybe you're driving, maybe you're walking, maybe you're sitting and just having a cup of coffee. I want you to take a breath with me. You heard me right, for just a second. Okay, ready? Take a breath. Okay, great. Because February feels a little bit different, doesn't it? Just a little bit. Because why? January is super loud, right? January is full of plans and lists and intentions. It's a fresh start, a fresh new year. Everything's new, new, you. And quote unquote, this is the year. This is my year. All about that energy, right? But February feels a little bit more quieter. The noise settles in, the urgency softens, and what's left is sometimes it's called space. It could be comforting, sometimes it's uncomfortable, but it's always honest. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. Not fixing, not organizing, not doing more, just listening. Because when the noise settles, your home speaks to you a little bit more clearly. Yes, you heard me right. Your house does speak to you. February is the month when people start saying things like this. You might even actually have caught yourself saying it as well. Ready? I don't know why, but something just feels a little bit off. Or I did all these things in January and yet there's nothing to show for it. Or I thought I'd feel more settled by now. And I want to say this very clearly to all of you. Ready? Nothing is wrong with you, and nothing is wrong with your home. January is the sprint month. It just is. February is a listening month. January distracts us with all these emotions and having these motions in place, right? February reveals what motion did not resolve. And what often shows up now isn't a mess. It's emotional weight. It's what? Postponed decisions. And it's spaces that quietly drain us instead of supporting us. So I remember walking into my home one morning, everything was technically in place. Did you hear me? The counters were clear, the laundry was done, hallelujah. The calendar was moving along, and yet my shoulders still kind of tightened up a little bit the moment I stepped inside my home. Nothing was wrong, but something just felt a little bit off, just heavy. That moment is so confusing, isn't it? Because we tell ourselves, this is what, well, I know I can attest that I do say these to myself. You ready? We tell ourselves, I should feel calm. I should feel grateful. I just organized this. But our nervous system doesn't respond to our shoulds. It responds to what we see, what we feel, and what's unresolved. And that's when, it all clicked to me, just like a light bulb. Switch on, click. My home wasn't asking for more effort. It was asking for more attention. So today I want to gently ask you one question, just one. Hear me out. Not to judge, not to fix, not to answer, not answer perfectly, but just to notice. How do you feel when you walk into your home literally right now, today? How do you feel? Not how you want to feel, not how you think you should feel, but how your body responds. Do your shoulders drop? Do they lift? Do they exhale? Do you exhale? Do you brace yourself? Those types of answers really do matter. And here's what I've learned from my own experience and from working with so many clients. January hides friction. It just does because it can. And February reveals it. When life slows down, the things that have been quietly bothering us finally have room to surface. And there's a science behind this. Research consistently shows the visual clutter increases stress hormones and decision fatigue. I can say yes to that. I can completely relate. And even when you're not consciously thinking about it, our brain is processing everything that we see. It's taking like those burst photos that we take on our phones, right? So if your home feels really heavy right now, it doesn't mean you've failed. It means your environment is giving you information. Your home isn't behind. It's just talking to you to see where we can get going, right? This is where that emotional clutter comes in. Emotional clutter isn't always the obvious. It looks like, items tied to a past season of life, spaces holding unfinished decisions, things you're not ready to decide about yet. Emotional clutter doesn't shout out. It doesn't. It just doesn't say, "Hey, listen, I'm here. Can you take care of me here?" It actually it just kind of hums quietly in the background. It shows up as this, ready? "I'll deal with that later. I don't have energy right now for this." Or "I'm just going to close the door because I really don't want to see this." But instead, you might want to say, "That's not a failure. That's just feedback. I hear you. Let me just see if I can get this going." And here's the framework I want you to hold on to. Before we keep going, I want to share something with you. If you're listening and thinking, "I want support like this, but I don't want a full overhaul," well, my friend, my mini momentum was created for exactly this reason. It's gentle, it's practical, and it meets you where you are. And if you're not sure what kind of support you need right now, take the quiz to find out. It'll only take at least 8 minutes of your time. That's it. It will guide you toward the support that matches where you are. No pressure, just clarity. You'll find everything linked into the show notes so that you can explore when it feels right. Okay, now back to today's episode. Your home is not asking for perfection. It's not asking for a full reset. It's not asking for a weekend overhaul, which we've done. A little bit exhausting, but it's been done. Your home is asking for clarity. Clarity sounds like this. You ready? "This no longer belongs in the season of my life. The space needs less, not better." Or, "I'm done postponing with this decision." Because what? You're going to tackle it. You're going to take care of that. And clarity begins with noticing, not doing. So that's it. That is how we start. This is what your home is really starting to ask for. And now we're going to go more into that observation over your actions. So instead of giving you a to do list today, I want to offer you something a little bit different. Okay, you ready? An invitation to observe, not to act. And you're just thinking, "Seriously, I'm going to stand in a corner?" No, you're not going to stand in a corner. I mean, if you want to get the full picture of your room or your place in your house, more than welcome to. But let's just go here. We will go through some gentle things that you can try. Try it out. First, you're going to choose that one space to simply notice it. Not to fix it, not to organize it, just to observe how it makes you feel when you enter it. So I'll give you an example on that one. I can talk to you about my laundry room because it is not just also a laundry room. It's also the way to go to the garage, and the garage door that's our key entry, not the front door. So it can get, if the laundry isn't done, I can walk past it and there's piles. It gives me ajita. So there you have it. My space for you that I'm going to be thinking about handling on this note would be my laundry room. Now, what is yours? So now we're going to choose one surface to soften. A counter, a nightstand, a table. I'll do a countertop because my nightstand and my table are good. So let it become your place for your eyes that can rest, even if it's not perfect. And third, identify one decision you've been postponing. So, not that I've been postponing a lot of decisions, but there might be one or two that I can honestly say that I have been. So, now remember, not all of them, just pick one of them. Okay, so let's just go over that one more time so it doesn't sound too confusing. Okay, you're going to choose. There's three things that you can try today. So you could choose one space to simply notice it. I'm going to probably do this one. It's going to be my laundry room. Second, you can choose one surface to soften. If I chose this one, I probably will be doing a table. A third one you can do is to identify one decision that you've been postponing. So again, I can actually identify with first, second, and third, but I'm going to go to the first one where it says choose my space just to simply notice, which I'm going to do. Then here is this is now what it's going to look like in real life. You ready? Let's say it is your laundry room, like I'm doing mine. Instead of immediately, clearing it out, labeling it, and reorganizing it, you can just pause for a second. You can stand there for a moment and notice. Does this space make me feel rushed? Does it feel cluttered or just overused? Is everything here actually needed right this minute? And then maybe you want to, see and realize what this is. It means is I don't need a new system here. I need fewer things living on this, let's just say wherever it might be, laundry room area, table, countertop. That's your observation, and it's powerful. Or maybe it could just be your bedroom. You walk in and notice your shoulders are tightening up, not because it's messy, but because it feels unfinished. It tells you something, not what to fix today, but what matters. And that awareness, that's where momentum actually begins. So before we talk about doing anything, I want to pause here for a moment, okay? Because this is the part that matters more than people actually realize. So we went through all of it, but observation isn't passive, it's strategic. And there is an actual research that backs this up. Studies in behavioral psychology show that people who pause, observe their habits before changing them are significantly more likely to follow through than those who jump straight into action. So when we rush into fixing without observing first, we're not changing the root. We're just rearranging the surface. I hope you understood that little analogy on that one. Observation helps us see why something isn't working, not just that it isn't. So, how to implement? Ready? Step by step. Now that after you've observed, here's how to implement change without creating more work. Because that's the last thing that we want to have done is to have extra work. So, step one, let's just choose that one point, not the whole counter, just say that one. Let's say the mail. Step two, create the smallest possible solution. It's not fulfilling, the filing system. It's not, labeling those folders. Just a simple tray, a basket where the mail already lands. Not restraining, no extra steps. Okay. So step three is that you're going to test it, not to commit to it. Okay. Because you want to try it out for 1 week. You want to see if this is really going to work. If the mail lands naturally in the tray, the system works. But if it doesn't, then the system isn't wrong. It's possibly the placement of it. And what do we do? You adjust, and that's it. So, no pressure, no perfection, no starting over. And this is how systems become and begin to support you instead of demanding effort from you. So, this approach works because it didn't ask yourself to change your behavior, did it? You change the environment to support it. Research shows that environmental design influences behavior more effectively than willpower, which is why observation is always the first step in sustainable change. Because when you observe first, you reduce resistance, you lower that mental load that always seems to be a heavy load lately on all of us, right? But it also, you build trust with yourself. And that trust is what creates momentum. I want to leave you with this quote because it captures everything we talked about today. Don't change the person, change the environment, and the person will change themselves. And that is the heart of observation before action. So as we go into these changes you are ready to make, just remember, you don't need to fix everything. You just need to see clearly. And clarity is where momentum begins. So, again, before we wrap up, I want to speak directly to you for just a moment. Just hang on there. I'm almost wrapping this up. So, if you've been feeling like you should be farther along by now, if you thought January would fix everything, right? If your home feels heavier than you expected, you're not you're definitely not behind, my friend. You're right on time. February isn't asking you to start over. It's inviting you to align. And if this conversation helped you feel a little bit more grounded and a little bit more clearer, a little bit more connected to yourself and your space, then I did exactly what it was meant to do. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And thank you for trusting yourself enough to take a pause. I'm cheering you on, my friend, right now, right here, wherever you are. Until next time.